high call series.
Another speciality is that living things eat food. We do eat food now. Is it possible for us to live without the food? Yeah, if the food becomes late for half an hour, we will have such a feeling that we may die out of hunger, isn't it? Huh? Yeah, it's that horrible an experience to live without food. Animals also eat food, no? Yeah, we give grass and all these kinds of things for those animals like the cows, buffaloes, the sheep, and all we grow. Huh? Then if there are hens, chicks, ducks are there, we give them some grains kinds of things for them to eat. If we grow some birds in the cages or dogs or cats, we give them food. If there are fish back at home, then we give them food, fish food. Okay. So all animals, all living things need food. All living things need food. Okay. So they do take not only food but drink water also. We drink water, isn't it? So we can say need food and water. Living things need food and water. Living things need food and water. We do eat food and we drink water also. Animals also do the same thing. Oh, what about plants again? Plants also need food and water. So imagine we grow some plants at our home and we do pour water every day, isn't it? We pour some water to them every day. Imagine we didn't pour water for 3 or 4 days, then what happens? If we do not pour water for 2 or 3 days, what will happen? What will happen? Yes, the plant will die. Isn't it? And the soil in which we plant these plants also should be very fertile. Why no trees grow in desert regions? Why are there no plants in desert regions? First of all, deserts have sandy soil. It's not good for growth of plants. Why? It doesn't have water, it's not fertile. Fertile means what? Yeah, the soil should have those elements which will help the plants to grow in that. That's it. We usually call it a fertilizer or manure. We call it fertilizer or a manure. Okay. So, the plants absorb these nutrients and water from the soil, and using sunlight, it cooks its own food in the presence of carbon dioxide. So the last point, when we said the plants breathe in carbon dioxide, this is the purpose. For preparing its food along with the minerals and the nutrients and water absorbed from the soil in the presence of sunlight. They need a carbon dioxide. So, it's not just animals, even plants cook their own food. Even plants need food and water. Okay? It's not just animals, plants also need food and water. Now, the fourth difference is living things grow. Living things grow. There are some favorite dress for us, na? So during the last year's birthday or the before that during the Dasara holidays or the Sankranti holidays, your father, mother, grandparents or somebody might have bought you a dress. You love it very much, but you cannot wear it now. Why? Some slippers may be there, some shirts may be there, some trousers may be there. It's amazing, wonderful, beautiful, but you cannot use it now. Why? Because you have grown. Your size, now the size of your body now doesn't match with the size of the shirt. You may have got younger brothers or sisters at home, na? So they are very small. We were also small once. We were also very small. We grew up, that's it. It took some years for us to grow. Look at our father and mother. They are grown. What about our grandparents? They are again much more grown, isn't it? So we were born very small and we grow and grow. You may have pet animals at home, na? If you bring a dog, what we bring is a small puppy, a small one. But all the months, it grows into a big dog, isn't it? Same is the case with any animal. They may bring some small fish, but after 6 months or 8 months or 1 year, they will become big fish. Why? They grow. Why do they grow? Because they are living things. Plants are also living things, isn't it? Yes, we bring small saplings. Huh? Hardly 3 or 4 leaves will be there on that. So when we plant it, when we water it, when we put manure and fertilizer with the soil, this small sapling grows into a plant. It will have branches, it will have more leaves, it will have a lot of flowers, isn't it? Huh? And some, like a banyan tree or a mango tree, it will be so small a plant, but over the year, it becomes so big a plant. Why? How? Because trees and the plants are also living things, and the living things do grow. That is why, yes, they are considered as a living things. So animals and plants, they grow and they are living things. Right? Now, fifth one, living things die. What do you mean by dying? Losing the life in our body is called a dying. So all living things will die one day. Every living thing will die one day. All animals. We can see in other dead bodies of animals. Huh? So they have come to that stage because they lost their life. So when they had their life, they were living things, and now they have lost their life. Means they are dead. They are dead. So this is one speciality of living things. They can die or they can lose the life. Same is the case with the plants also. No? We will cut the branches off, and when we bring it over there, the plant will die off. We can see that the leaves of the plants, they become brown, they fall down, the skin of the trees will get withered, and the plant also dies. If you do not pour enough water to the plants that we grow, after 4 or 5 days, when there is no more water in the soil to be absorbed by the plants die. Right? So, all living things can die. Animals, plants, birds, insects, they die. Then, the next difference is living thing living things reproduce. Reproduce means what? Yes, give birth to their younger ones. Okay, so it creates the younger ones. It produces new babies. Huh? Your father and the mother, when they grew up, you were born, isn't it? Huh? The next generation. Animals give birth to young ones. Birds lay eggs, hatch on the eggs, and bring the new ones. Then plants. Some plants have seeds from which we can have the new plants coming out. Okay, some plants, yes, they can reproduce themselves from the sticks, the branches. We need to cut it and plant it separately. We will have new plants. So all plants has this capacity to produce their young ones. All animals, birds, insects, fish, every living thing in this world has this capacity to produce their young ones. Okay, so all birds, plants, animals, insects has this capacity to produce their young ones, to produce new babies for their next generation. Okay, so yes, the same kind of animals will continue to live. Right? Now, these are the major features of living things. Living things move from one place to other. Living things breathe. Living things need food and water. Living things grow. Living things die. Living things reproduce. Okay? So these are the 6 major features of living things. These are the 6 major features of living things. Now, shall we check the same with non-living things? Let us consider some examples. Say, for example, chair is a non-living thing. Table is a non-living thing. Then we have bus is a non-living thing. So we will check. Living things move. What about non-living things? Can non-living things move? Can a chair move by its own? It should be moved by its own. It's not that somebody has to pull it. Can a chair move by its own? No. A table? No. A bus? A bus moves, but not by its own, isn't it? It doesn't move by its own. But what is happening? Yes, somebody has to drive it. When somebody drives a bus, it moves, isn't it? So it doesn't move by itself. So as it doesn't move by itself, it's a non-living thing. Right? Now, the second, living things breathe, non-living things do not breathe. Does a chair breathe? Does an umbrella breathe? Huh? Does a table or a pen, does it breathe? No. They won't breathe. Third one, living things need food and water. Should we feed any food and water to a pen? A pen never requires food and water, isn't it? A chair, a book, a pencil, a bag, they never require any food or water because it's not a living thing. It's not a living thing. Then, living things grow. Non-living things, they won't grow. So when you bought the pen, it was the same. Even after 2 years or 3 years, the pen will be of the same size. Will it grow? No. Why won't it grow? Because it doesn't have life. It doesn't have a life. It doesn't take anything in and they won't grow. Right? Then, the next thing, living things die. Will this pen die? No. The pens won't die. A chair will not die. A table will not die. No non-living thing will die. Right? Then, the living things reproduce. Will a pen reproduce its own pen? A new pen? No way, isn't it? A pen cannot reproduce a new pen. We have got to make a new pen. That's it. It cannot produce a new pen. Chair? No. So, living things move, non-living things do not move. Living things breathe, non-living things do not breathe. Living things need food and water, non-living things do not need food and water. Living things grow, non-living things do not grow. Living things die, non-living things do not die. Living things reproduce, non-living things do not reproduce. Right? So that is the lesson part of living things and non-living things. And it's time for us now to go for the exercises and activity part of this particular lesson. Okay.